Yo, guys, welcome to another episode of Philosophy of Fitness. Today, I wanted to talk about the philosophy of pull ups and how you can build strength in pull ups, the best way to approach pull ups, and maybe how some of you might be approaching pull ups the wrong way or with the wrong attitude or mindset. Most of us, we think about pull ups, we think, how many pull-ups can you do? You always ask somebody, how many pull-ups can you do? And for me, being a rock climber and having a lot of experience with pull-ups and upper body strength, it's not about how many pull-ups you can do. Yes, doing a lot of pull-ups is very beneficial and will help you, but it is not the end-all be-all, nor is it the ultimate way to build strength with pull-ups, and it is not the most effective way to get, like if I go to the pull-up bar back here and I do, as many pull-ups as I can. So if I come here and I just start busting out as many pull-ups, right? That is not the goal. That is not what is going to help you improve, right? So what can we do to improve our pull-up strength? Well, the one big deciding factor or the best way that you're going to build strength with pull-ups is going to be what's called time under tension. What is time under tension? Time under tension means that when I come to the pull-up bar and I go to do my pull-ups, how much time am I in tension? So right now I'm under tension, right? This whole time I'm under tension, okay? But if I just do a pull-up very fast, there is less time under tension because I'm doing the pull-up fast versus slow. So for a beginner or somebody who's just trying to improve their pull-up strength, what can they do? Well, they can come to the pull-up bar here, and you can find a stool or something. I have a stool right here, a chair, anything, and you want to get, you see I'm almost to the top of the pull-up bar. You want to get as close as you can to the top, and what you're going to do is you're going to jump up, and you're going to hold yourself all the way down. You're going to resist all the way down. And so what does that do? Well, when I go to the top of the pull-up and I let myself down slowly, this is creating time under tension, right? So let's just say you're somebody who can't do any pull-ups, okay? Or maybe you can do one or two, and they're a struggle for you, okay? Let's break down the pull-up into three parts, okay? The pull-up, I would say you can break down into three parts, right? We have the beginning of the pull-up, which is just engaging. So I'm from straight arm, and we engage. That's the beginning, okay? That's part one. Then we have part two, which is getting halfway. So right here, it's part two, and part three would be finishing the rep, okay? So the reason I break that down into three parts is because the middle part of the pull-up is the hardest, the part most people struggle with, right? Most people can do the beginning and they can do the end, but they struggle with getting their body to the last part and starting is easy, getting through that halfway, that middle part is always the hard part. So in order to build that muscle without being able to do that part of the pull-up, we come and we do our negatives, or increase that time under tension. So we come to the pull-up, we stand up, we jump into it, and we let ourselves down nice and slow. And right here, this middle part, even though you're going the opposite direction and you are going down, you are increasing the strength of those muscles that are required to beat that middle section. And this is why for most of you who can't do any pull-ups, or maybe you just want to increase your pull-up strength, doing reps of pull-ups, if you can't do pull-ups, is impossible. So doing these negatives and increasing your time under tension is going to improve your strength overall. And if you're somebody who can't do any, then you will be able to do some. You'll be able to do some more pull-ups, or maybe just one in general if you couldn't do any before. The reason that I say that it's not about reps of pull-ups is because there are a million different ways that you can make pull-ups harder just by the way that you're doing it, the grip that you're using, the speed at which you're doing the pull-up. Are you doing the pull-up explosive up, slow down? So another way that you can increase your pull-up strength is by doing explosive pull-ups. Now this is completely the opposite of what I was describing, but let's say you're somebody who can do 10 pull-ups no problem. Okay, well maybe for you now, since you can do 10 pull-ups, to break that mold of doing 10 to do more, even though it's not about doing more, in general, if you're stronger, you should be able to do more. So if we come to our pull-up bar here, okay, and we are somebody who can't do, you can do 10, but you want to do more pull-ups. All right, so now what you want to focus on is exploding and letting yourself down slow. So now we're combining the negatives with an explosive and then slow down. And this, what it's doing is you are getting that initial explosive maneuver, the initial explosiveness to build that strength and that muscle, but then you're also coming down nice and slow, and you're combining that time under tension with that explosiveness. And then the other way you can build strength is by doing both up and down as slow and controlled as possible. So we come to our pull-up bar, and now we do our pull-up just very slow here. So I'm going up very slow, and then slow down. And what that does is we are maximizing time under tension. You see, the beautiful thing about upper body strength and body weight exercise is it's not like lifting weights, right? Lifting weights sometimes is about reps or rep count. It's not about that. It's about difficulty and creating that tension as long as you can and in different ways to and then build the strength. So you can apply that to any sort of exercise or any pull-up exercise that you want to do. So let's say I'm coming here and I'm gripping super wide, okay? I can still apply that same slow up, okay? And I can still apply getting here, jumping into it, and letting myself down nice and slowly. And this is the beauty of body weight, is you don't have to be able to do a lot of reps. You don't have to be able to do certain things. You can just apply time under tension, these different strategies, being explosive and in time under tension, and combine those to build strength. Now, the mistake people make is they think it's all about reps, it's all about how fast or how explosive you can do a pull-up. But let me show you why necessarily doing explosive pull-ups isn't the smartest option, or isn't necessarily going to build you a ton of strength. Because if I come over here to the pull-up bar, okay, and I'm doing like these CrossFit pull-ups, you know, and I'm just like doing pull-ups as fast as I can, you are using that initial momentum and power to skip the most difficult part of a pull-up. So if I do a pull-up explosively and I come down really fast, right, I let myself down, do another pull-up, let myself down, and I'm just worried about how many I can do. And you see the CrossFit people just flailing up the bar, doing as many as they can. You are missing you're missing that quintessential moment in a pull-up that builds a lot of strength, and it builds, you know, your back. When you're doing pull-ups, your back is most engaged in two moments. Yes, right at the beginning you engage your lats, but halfway is where your lats are working the hardest. Right here to get to the top, that's where they're working the hardest. And so if you are using that momentum to skip that middle section that's going to build a lot of strength, then you're really missing out, and you're really looking at it the wrong way, because a lot of people misinterpret that. How many pull-ups can you do? How many dips can you do? And it's not about that. It's about creating that difficulty and that tension in order to build strength. It's not about how many reps you can do. And that is a big misconception, and I think a lot of people feel like they need to be able to do a lot of pull-ups, and you don't. You just need to change your strategy of how you do a pull-up, right? If I do 5 pull-ups, okay? Let's just say I'm somebody who can do 5 pull-ups. And all I do is I go to the bar and I do 5 pull-ups, 5 pull-ups, 5 pull-ups. Yes, over time you're gonna build strength. But a better strategy to build strength would be to be able to do 1, let's say I do 5, but I can do 1 pull-up really slow like this. I can just pull up, go really, really slow, really slow, really slow, really slow, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And I create that time under tension. I'm getting way more out of that 1 pull-up, in my opinion, than you are out of those 5. Now, they're doing different things, per se, but doing those pull-ups nice and controlled like that with time under tension, you are contracting all those fibers constantly, putting them under load constantly, which is more beneficial than using your momentum to get to the top of the bar and just flailing back down, using momentum to get to the top of the bar and flailing back down. I hope this helped you guys, and that was my philosophy on pull-ups. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.